What is up guys, Ed Bandicoot 101 here, and today we have a product that I think is very interesting. Now I picked this up from PC World in England for £54, which is equivalent to about 70 to 80 US dollars. That's very cheap. Normally this keyboard, which is the Razer Blackwidow Ultimate 2014 edition, is around £125, $150. So for 54 quid, I'm absolutely astounded I got this. It was the last one on the shelf and it was a bit of a fight to get to it, but here we have it anyway. Just going to do a review of the product and how impressed I am with it, to be perfectly honest. I've tried quite a few mechanical keyboards, and without trying this I bought it because it was straight up cheap, and I'm very impressed and happy with the purchase. So I thought I'd go over some of the features. Now, I've got it plugged into my computer. I thought I'd tell you all things it's capable of doing. So firstly, the switch types. We're used to seeing cherry switch types on mechanical keyboards like Cherry MX, blacks, blues. There's 4 different colours, reds, and yeah, there's 4 different colours. It basically is the difference between how tactile and the amount of activation pressure for the keys. Now these, interestingly enough, don't actually follow under any of the categories. This is Razer's own specialised designed mechanical gaming switches that actually had quite a significant amount of research put into them. So they have a very specific activation pressure, optimised for gaming, and I personally think it's a very nice keyboard to type on, and it is very, very tactile. They're quite light activation pressure, but you still know when it clicks. It clicks quite high up, so you only have to touch the key. You don't have to press it all the way down, although you can if you want, which I tend to because I'm quite heavy-fisted with my keyboard. But it works well, and you really can feel when you press the key or not. I'd say they're closest to the Cherry MX Blacks, having tried all of them. But I actually prefer them to any of the Cherry MX keys. I'm very impressed with them, actually, considering they're not made by Cherry. I didn't expect the quality to be too good, but hey, it blew me away. They're really good, and I'm really impressed with that. So yeah, the key types are mechanical keys by Razer's own design, instead of Cherry keys on a mechanical keyboard. But I like it. I have no complaints about that, as long as you trust Razer to deliver a premium product, which I do, and they certainly have. So I'm very impressed with the key switches. Another thing is macros. So down the side here, you can see we have 5 macro keys, all of which can be reprogrammed on the fly or in the software which comes with the actual keyboard. You can download it from the Razer website, or it comes on the disc, but everyone just downloads it from the website. You've got macros which you can reprogram in the software. It's very useful. I'll just move the camera up so you can see that quick on the monitor. But basically we have on here you have Synapse 2.0 software, so you can actually reprogram the entire I'll try and get the screen in focus. So you can actually reprogram the entire keyboard layout. You can reprogram every button on it. You can even have timing intervals in between switches, and you can program macros on the fly as well with the quick macro record button. And it's really good for the macros. So if you plan on using macro keys, really great keyboard for that. Works really well. You can even customize the lighting options and how bright you want the keyboard to go with this slider here. But this also works with buttons, so I don't tend to actually do it. You can even have it pulsating if you really want. Switch the lighting off when display is turned off. So you can do loads of really weird stuff. Pulsating is quite cool, but I feel it will probably distract you from in-game, so I'm just going to leave it on quite dim because I don't want it to detract. I like it glowing, but I don't want it detracting from my gaming experience, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'll show you the brightness levels on the keyboard. So yeah, the software that comes with it is very easy to use, and I'm very impressed with that. I'll just show you the brightness levels on the keyboard. We're in quite a brightly lit room, midday, and it's quite sunny, so you can probably not tell. But basically, there's 20 different brightness levels that can be indicated by the switches on the board. That's off. There's 1, and I'll keep clicking it until we get to maximum brightness. And I know you probably can't see it from the camera, but the actual keyboard itself is very bright. That is like, you can see it. Oh, you probably can't see it. It makes my hand glow a bit green. It's very bright. You won't really want it on maximum brightness, but yeah, I'm very impressed with that. I like the keyboard a lot, and it works really well. And the lighting is gorgeous. You don't get that on the regular edition, which is just the Blackwidow, but you do on this one, so I'm very happy I managed to grab this one. You've also got your basic functionality keys, so you've got your media streaming, and you've also got a gaming mode, which disables the Windows key, and I don't know what else it does really. I see it's a bit pointless, but it disables the Windows key so you can't accidentally exit games. You've got numlock, caps lock, and very basic layout of a keyboard. Sorry, train's going by again. But very basic layout of a keyboard, and it works absolutely fine. You've got your whole number pad as well. It's a full-size keyboard. Arrow keys are full size. You have a sleep button as well, and I don't know what the gaming mode's for really. It makes a little gaming icon show on the thing, but other than disabling the Windows button. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. But yeah, you've got Shift, you've got everything else you'd expect to find on a regular keyboard. And it just works really well. I'm really impressed, and it feels very tactile. Now, one complaint I have had with using this, you tend to game in this position here. WASD with the fingers, and your thumb tends to rest, well, personally anyway, I've got quite small hands, so my thumb tends to rest, instead of centre of the spacebar here, my thumb tends to rest over here on the side of the spacebar. And unfortunately, when you are doing that, you have to completely take your thumb off the spacebar if you're going to press it at the side, let it bounce all the way back up, because there isn't enough force pushing the spacebar back up. So if I was relaxing my hand on the keyboard, I would tend to find games like Skyrim, I couldn't jump twice because my key was still pressed down. That was a bit of an issue, but that is the only ergonomic issue I found with the keyboard. If you could put an extra 2 springs in it next time in the redesigned Razer in 2015, that'd be great. Just saying, because that's the only issue I found with the keyboard so far. On the bottom of the keyboard, you see we have 2 rubber feet, and it's also got 3 other rubber grips, so you can't push it around, and it does definitely stay in place and doesn't move. The actual bottom bit there is perfect for resting your hand on, very comfy, and you also have a light up insignia here with the Razer logo there. The rubber feet are out very strong, and you can fold them in and out so you can have it at an angle or not. Personally, I think it's a perfect angle when they're up, so I have it up. And other things it also includes, if I turn it around to the side, is on here on the end, just get the focus again, on here on the end you see we have a USB 2 port and a headphone and microphone jack, so you can have your whole audio setup coming out of your keyboard, which is very useful and makes cable management for cables a hell of a lot easier. And personally, I didn't use this because you need, for a start, you do need, this is another drawback of the keyboard again, not an ergonomic drawback, but a drawback nonetheless. You literally can't use the inbuilt keyboard's microphone and headphone jack unless you have your headphone and microphone jack plugged in on the back of your computer, which I don't because I have my speaker system under here plugged in with that. And you also need to have 2 USBs to power it, so you're talking 4 cables to plug this in, 2 USB 2s at minimum, and also 1 headphone and 1 microphone jack to get the side panel here to work. Well, obviously USB will work without it, but yeah, that's another drawback, the amount of cables it requires. But I mean, at least the cable they've supplied is a single cable, which is splits at the end. It's very strong, cable fibre braided, very strong cable. I can honestly not see that ever breaking. It's very similar to the Rat I have here cable. It's very strong, and I've never had any problems with that at all, even in heavy use and absolutely wrecking it. So I don't think there's ever going to be any issues with the cable being damaged or anything, unless you really intentionally try to do it. I guess that's my review. Is it worth 130 quid? I'm going to have to say no. If it's 50 quid on sale, I'm going to have to say yes. It's absolutely ridiculously good as a keyboard. I've never yet played on a better keyboard, if that's any you know, show of how good of a keyboard it is. I personally think this is a absolutely mind-blowingly good keyboard, with 2 drawbacks being the amount of cables and 1 ergonomic downside on the spacebar design. Other than that, there is absolutely no complaints I have with this keyboard. It looks fantastic in my opinion, goes well with my setup. I'm going to get some green LEDs to go in my computer to go with it, and looks great, feels great other than the spacebar, and it's very functional and works very, very well. I hope you guys will enjoy the video. Please remember to rate, comment and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Bandicoot101 and like my Facebook page at Bandicoot101 to stay up to date with the latest gaming and tech videos. Links will be in the description below. And this is the 2014 edition, by the way, and this was my review of the Razer Blackwidow 2014 Ultimate, and I'll see you guys very soon with another gaming or tech video. Hey, Bandicoot101 out.